Hi there, Joanne Bush here. Welcome to my first experimental installment of Whip It Up, or as I like to call it, Cooking with Kitty. I've been a nurse for 25 years, and some of my good friends call me Kitty. So I'm going to just share with you some of these everyday recipes that I make from home. They're usually pretty quick. My glasses look crooked. What the heck? And today we're going to do a fan favorite that I learned from my English mother from Leeds, England, and it's called shepherd's pie. Now, I had posted some pictures of this on Facebook in the past, and people are asking me for the recipe, so here it is for you. Also, while we're cooking in these episodes, I will also be answering some medical questions that you've posted on Facebook, Twitter, or email. So let's get started. So today we're making, as I said, the traditional shepherd's pie. It's a meat and potato pie, and normally it's made with ground beef, ground lamb. I usually substitute it with ground turkey, which I have been using for most of my meals that require ground beef. For example, turkey burgers, turkey meatloaf, turkey tacos, which we will be making tomorrow. But today I've decided to use the ground beef because the Argentine that lives in my house is a beef steak eater, per his request. Okay, so I've already gotten started. So what we have here, plus this is a very economical meal as well, so I'll go over what we used. I have browned some ground beef, and of course, anytime I cook beef or anything or ground turkey, I always add onions. We love onions in this house. So I've chopped up a yellow onion. I'm going to let you take a look there. As you can see, maybe not. My camera work sucks. Okay, so there's some beef. It's already browned. Since I use ground beef, and it already has its own fat, so I didn't put any olive oil in the pan. Now, normally with ground turkey, I will put a little oil in the pan. Now, a lot of people add different things to their shepherd's pie mix. For example, I am going to be adding some chopped carrots and some peas from a can. The other secret ingredient that my mother told me never to forget is the beef bouillon, which I have over here with some boiling water. This is also going to help to make our gravy. So besides the beef bouillon, we are also going to use some beef gravy. I prefer to use the one in a jar by Heinz. No one's paying me for these either. But today we used one from a packet, which, you just add water. And the one we used today is called Better Than Gravy. So let's hope it's better than gravy. And it's supposed to also have some beef bouillon in it as well. Plus, I have a can of Campbell's beef gravy. Voila. And I think we've got this maybe at the 99-cent store. So I'm proud. All right, I'm going to add the gravy to the beef here. You can hear that sizzling. We're going to mix that right in evenly. Now, as with any meal I make, I always like to add garlic as well. So we've got some garlic. This is really good. It's already peeled. We always get this at the, you guessed it, 99 cents. Okay, you can't beat it. They have some really good produce there. I used to turn up my nose about going to the 99-cent store for many, many years. I didn't know what I was missing, especially the one on Fairfax if you're here in LA. Okay, so I'm going to chop that up. I've also chopped up some carrots that I'm going to go ahead and add now because it takes a little longer for those to cook through. So you see I've got my handy little processor here. I'm going to add that to the mix. And another little secret that I like to do is I like to add mushrooms. I chop those up very finely as well, and it sort of mixes with the meat, so it makes a good consistency. Today, the mushrooms that I'm using are these Baby Bella crimini mushrooms. I'm just going to throw a couple of those in my processor and then add that to the mixture. As far as seasonings go, it's pretty much whatever you want, but I, myself, love black pepper. And the salt that we're using right now, too, lately, because we ran out of our sea salt, is the Himalayan pink salt right here. This is supposed to be really good for your adrenals as well, according to Thomas DeLauer. Himalayan pink sea salt crystals. So I have that in my boiling water, where my potatoes are already getting ready to be mashed. They're boiling. These are the potatoes that I use. Now I want to show you what, sometimes if you don't use potatoes very often, they start to grow some appendages, you see, but that's okay. You just peel that right off. I'm using red skin potatoes. Also got these at the, you guessed it, 99-cent store. So you got to use them pretty quick, but they're good. They're pretty big, nice red skin. I myself leave the skin on because, number one, I'm lazy, and number two, it's better for you. All the vitamins and stuff is in the skin. Even on like an Idaho potato with a thicker skin, I will still leave it on. So I've got the potatoes boiling. I'm going to chop up my mushrooms right now and the little piece of garlic that I pulled out. My gravy from the packet is also still simmering. I put a little extra gravy in it this time. But I'm going to show you what my secret ingredient is in a minute. Okay, my mushrooms are finally diced. I'm going to add those to my pan. I have also preheated the oven to around like 300 degrees, 350 degrees. That's just where we're going to do the final bake. Everything will pretty much be already cooked, but that's just the, final step, I should say. Okay, so this looks really good already, I have to say. I must say. I'm going to add some black pepper. I like to buy my spices at Trader Joe's. Okay, you thought I was going to say 99-cent store, didn't you? Well, no, some things are better at Trader Joe's as well. This is only like $1.99. Same with the pink sea salt. And then I'll throw in a little garlic and parsley salt too as well. Just whatever you have in your cabinet, whatever kind of mood you're feeling. And I also like these, even though I have real garlic, chopped garlic, like freeze-dried garlic. This you get at the 99-cent store. It's really good. Especially if you add it to like your tomato soups and stuff, your canned soups, or your French onion soup. OMG. Very, very good. Okay, so that's all simmering nicely. I'm going to add a little bit of the bouillon because you want this to sort of reduce and cook down and give you just a nice sort of thick gravy. Now sometimes you can add flour if you need to make it thicker, but because I have, two different kinds of gravy and everything else under the sun, I think we're good. Because this gravy, which is from the packet, has also cooked up nicely. Just 1 cup of water, whisk it together, voila. Now, this is looking good already. Can you smell it out there? Can you smell it, Willie?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, so we get our potatoes ready to mash. Let me tell you a bit how I make my mashed potatoes. I add butter, and then I always, instead of adding milk, I add sour cream. And sometimes I add some chicken broth. Or if I have, little packets of chicken broth, or because Thanksgiving's coming up, I actually just bought a can of chicken broth because I'm going to make some stuffing to take to work for our Thanksgiving party at the hospital. So like I said, I'm a nurse. You can catch me on Facebook, Tips and Tidbits with Nurse Bush. Hollywood Tips and Tidbits, I should say, because I am coming to you from West Hollywood, California. All right, let me just chop up this last bit of carrot and garlic. And I'm going to also add peas to the pot. Like I said, this is all just to taste. Carrots and peas is usually what I like to do. Some people add corn. I myself don't like corn unless it's on the cob. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's mixing nicely. Our potatoes are mashing. I also like to add garlic to my potatoes. Sometimes I'll just put pieces of garlic, or I'll put garlic salt like in the water right now while it's boiling. Thanks for reminding me. Hold on. Blah, blah. Where is it? Okay. What happened to our big thing of garlic salt? Okay, pretend I did that. Okay, now let me see if I have a can of peas on hand. What? Oh my God, we don't have any peas. Okay, we're going to substitute that then. You want green beans in the thing? Okay, so sometimes I prefer... We don't have peas. Green beans. Or no? I have done this before. I've added green beans to the shepherd's pie. I think peas are better. I think we're just going to forego the greens right now. Guess we ate those peas last time. Okay. Just make sure one last final. Okay. Now. Oh my God, we had a Heinz gravy too? Crap. Okay, this is what I would prefer to use. Okay. Anyway, well, we're trying something different. But that doesn't even matter anymore because guess what the secret ingredient is? Red wine. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this wine. This is quail oak. It's one of the cheaper brands you can get at Pavilions, Vaughn's Pavilions, but let me tell you, it tastes so good. It goes down so easily. It doesn't make you too drunk. It's probably why I can drink, let's just say, more than one glass. And I'm going to pour myself a glass. I like the red. They have Merlot or Cabernet. I'm going to add some to my meat mixture here to make it sort of a burgundy type of sauce. It really gives it a nice, rich, robust flavor. And it's a real hit with the people I cook for, which is one person. Okay, but anyway, not important right now. So I'm just going to let that simmer down. Now let me show you. The potatoes, I think, are softening up. Oh, yes, they're soft. After we get all of our meat cooked and our potatoes mashed, we're going to have a pan like this. You can do it in one of those aluminum pans. You can do it in, well, like this is a Pyrex pan. I've even done it in a pie pan. I mean, you could do it in any kind of shape you want. So let's hope I made enough potatoes to fill this. This is where we're going to put our final layer for our shepherd's pie. So I think our meat mixture is looking pretty good. Now normally I would just take a spoonful from the pan, but that wouldn't be appropriate. So I'm not going to do that for TV land. Okay. Oh, I didn't even learn how to. Okay, look at that. And look at our potatoes. Steam. Okay, you get the idea. While we're waiting, let's answer a few questions from our viewers. Let's see. I've got one right here. Oh, Brianna from Ohio. Oh, that's where I'm from originally. Cleveland area. Went to Ohio State. Go Bucks. Anyway, she says, what are some good tips, cures for the common cold? If I had a cure for the common cold, I'd be a billionaire. But in my opinion, the things, first of all, prevention is the best medicine. Try to just sort of keep your immunity up, before you get symptoms. Drink a lot of fluids. I would take vitamin C. I take vitamin supplements. Echinacea is also very good. But if you are coming down with the sniffles and the sneezes and the runny nose and the watery eyes, which is kind of daily for me because I actually have allergies and I live with 3 cats, but like I said, that's not important right now. I take Claritin D. But for cold, you can take allergy medication. You could take your over-the-counter, NyQuil, Dayquil type of stuff, or the generic brand, which is what I usually buy because it's the same active ingredients. Any kind of cold medicine. You're going to have some aches and pains. Now, let me tell you, people take ibuprofen. That's an NSAID. It's considered a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. And some people take Tylenol, and some people take aspirin. One of our viewers, asked a question, can you take like Aleve and ibuprofen together? Well, they're actually both the same thing. So you wouldn't want to double up on that. Ibuprofen or Motrin or Advil or Aleve, that's all the same medication. So you never want too much of anything. I would recommend if you do drink alcohol at all, like I do, don't take Tylenol. Or at least don't take it in excess. I also was a liver transplant nurse, and a big cause of liver failure is Tylenol overdose. And even people who have, tried to attempt suicide by taking too much Tylenol, then they survive. You're screwed because then you have liver failure and then you have to get a liver transplant and just, it's really quite successful, liver transplants and kidney transplants, but you don't want to get it if you don't have to. And that was part of my shtick when I first came out here and I thought I was going to be a stand-up comedian. I said, I'm a liver transplant nurse. Have another drink. I'll get you on the list. It's the A-list in Hollywood. But that never happened. Okay, so let's get ready to move to our next step. My potatoes are very nicely soft now. So let's turn off the gravy. It's burning. Okay. Let's get our potatoes drained. Drain your potato. So over here, I've taken my lid to my pan. Beware of the steam. No low self-esteem here. Okay. There we go. There's a nice big pot of potatoes. So I'm going to take some butter. is just your good old, I usually buy the unsalted butter. I can add my own salt to things as I want. Throw in a little butter. Throw in some pink salt. I like a lot of pepper in my stuff too. And this is where you can add extra garlic if you want, like whole garlic or garlic salt. And then the sour cream. Now, I do usually get good deals of sour cream at Pavilions, but they also have it at, you guessed it, 99-cent store. Just double check your dates, but it's perfectly fine. Perfectly good sour cream. Just going to add a dollop to my taters. And then, because I don't even have a real beater, no wife beater, no real beater, I've got this. This is actually, isn't this cute? This is what you're supposed to dress your wine bottles in. Then sometimes I don't know I have any more wine left, but it's a nice surprise though when you figure it out. So this is my masher. And we're just going to kind of get some elbow grease into it. And like I said, the sour cream just gives it an extra texture, makes it a little more creamier. You can add as little or as much as you want to taste. And as I said, also, chicken broth is good. Hey, but guess what? I still have a little bit of that beef broth left. Hey, we don't waste in this house. I'm just going to add that to my potatoes. And you see potatoes are flying everywhere, but that's okay, because somebody else will clean up the kitchen. All right, ooh, these are looking good, looking good. Okay. I didn't forget anything, right? Now, normally, the meat mixture just goes on the bottom layer of my pan, and then the potatoes go right on top. But sometimes if I feel like I have enough potatoes, I like to make a little layer of potatoes on the bottom. Now, you don't really have to pre-grease your pan. I'm just going to spray some of this. Oh, I forgot to tell you something else. Okay, this is really good. This is Spanish organic olive oil from Trader Joe's, my other favorite place. So I'll just spray a little bit on the bottom here. But here's something I almost forgot to tell you, another little secret, both from Trader Joe's. I love this truffle, black truffle oil. I hate the way this is recording reverse, but you get it. And the garlic oil. Add that to your potatoes. Okay, truffle oil. They only have it during the holiday season, so every year I kind of stock up on it. A little of that. Well, we might as well just throw some garlic oil in there too. That's looking, these potatoes are looking good. Let me show you what that looks like. So let me just beat that a little bit. It smells good too. Alright, I think we made kind of a lot of potatoes. So I'm going to put a little layer on the bottom. Just, you know, a little bit of potatoes. So I've got my pan here, pre-sprayed. There you can see that. Let's see. Oh, there's our wine bottle. Okay. Here we go. Just a little layer at the bottom, just for support. Potatoes everywhere. It's not a bad angle. Okay. Make sure we have enough for our top, though. All right. Now, as I say, I mean, this recipe can vary to your taste. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But, you know, I like things to be savory, beefy flavor. And like I said, the wine gives it a little extra richness. Another sip for me. All right. Now, we're going to take our beef mixture. Now, look at that's nice. That's simmered very nicely. And we're just going to put that all over. So this could be the bottom of your pan, or this could be over your little baby bed of potatoes. And then you just swish that all around. all the little bits off. We don't waste in this house. And you would think that this would feed a family of 4, but really between me and the other food inhaler in here, yeah, it doesn't last. We rarely have leftovers, and I think you can tell by my weight gain, but that's not important. Okay, and here come the potatoes on the top. You just want to kind of lightly, you don't want it to kind of get mixed with the meat. You want it to just form a layer on top, almost like you're frosting a cake. And then just sort of spread that around. Oops. How we doing out there? Getting hungry yet? Okay. Now. Every last bit of tater. Kind of mixing with the meat more than I kind of fancy, but it's okay. So it's all going in the same spot. Just take a look at that now before I put the final touches. Okay, so there it is. But now you want to put your little cheese topping, okay? Now my good friend Athena Pierce just gave me this because she was going out of town for Thanksgiving back to North Carolina. Hi, Joyce. So this is a mixture of some cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, just a little cheese blend. It's supposed to be a Mexican cheese blend. Normally I would just put cheddar cheese on top, but since we have this, we're just going to sprinkle this right on top. Now back in the day, my mom and my auntie used to love when the cheese got burnt, and they would fight over like the crispy cheese. Ask me. And there, looky, right like that. We've got our oven already nicely preheated. We're just gonna pop this in. Not long, for a few minutes. Actually, sometimes what I do is I turn it up to broil, and that's really going to harden the cheese and make a nice little crispy topping. And then we've left a big mess in the kitchen for someone to clean up after. Okay, so let's let that cook. Let's see if we have any other questions from our audience. Okay. I already answered the ibuprofen and Aleve. That was from Franny in Utah. How is it up there in Utah? Yeah, so like I said, you never want to do too much of any kind of pain reliever because it can build up liver toxicity. But let me tell you about something you can take to help with your liver, which my good friend Heidi just turned me on to, and that's milk thistle. And I ordered some off of Amazon. I just ordered it from Swanson. Actually, it was a deal if you buy 2 bottles. It's cheaper. This milk thistle, you take 2 tablets 2 to 3 times a day, and it's to help protect your liver. So especially if you drink, that glass of wine or 2 bottles a day. It's good to have this. And then she also recommended dandelion root, which I have not gotten yet. And this one, credit to Heidi, this GSH3 Cell Defense. This is good for antioxidants for help giving you more brain power, and also as preventative for Alzheimer's if that runs in your family, or even if it doesn't, it just helps to regenerate your brain cells, which some of us need more than others. Okay. Oh, we've got so many supplements, we'll have to just save that for another show. So let's see what's happening in our oven here. Oh, it's already starting to melt. And I want to show you the final product, so I don't really want to stop the video while we're letting that broil. So what else can we talk about? Talked about the wine, the quail oak. So this whole meal, let's talk about price, because, I know I said a lot of stuff is 99-cent store, which is really quite true. I mean, the ground beef, I got it from Pavilions, and I think it was the 91% fat one, wherever the medium one was, for like a pound. It was $3.59. So that's not bad. But like I said, I use ground turkey. Let me show you. This is what we're going to be using for tomorrow. Jenny O is usually always on sale at Pavilions. It's like $3 or maybe $5 depending. This is really good to substitute for any of these meals that we're going to be cooking in the next couple of days. So shepherd's pie with ground turkey. I mean, people don't really notice. They think that they do, but just once you doctor it up with all the gravy and stuff. Okay, so you got the ground beef. Now the potatoes. Like I said, these potatoes, you know, Mr. Potato Head. A whole bag of them, 99-cent store. And they're good. Garlic. This whole garlic. Bag of garlic here, peeled garlic. 99 cents. The 99-cent store. Onions, you know, it depends on the day. They do have good produce. You know, you can buy a bag of onions. The thing about the 99-cent store, if you're using stuff, of course you're going to want to use it quickly because, you know, it's going to go bad faster. But it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. Even, okay, these mushrooms. This is a recap of the recipe. How about that? These mushrooms right here, these crimini portobello mushrooms, 99 cents. You can also get portobello mushrooms at the 99-cent store, which I also have chopped up in the past to put into my meat dish. What else? I told you about the spices I usually get from Trader Joe's, $1.99, or some things at the 99-cent store. This sour cream, 99-cent store. This gravy, 99-cent store. Although sometimes I think cans, you know, you could actually even get cheaper in a grocery store. And the other little packet of gravy, by the way, this was at the Pavilions. I didn't want you to see the 50% off sticker that I just peeled off, but actually it was like in a bargain bin. But it's perfectly fine. I'm not proud. I mean, I'm not ashamed, I should say. I'm very proud of being thrifty and economical. And then the cheese, of course, well, the cheese was free because my friend gave it to me. But no, you can get good cheese at Pavilions. They have good sales all the time. A lot of times they have sales, like if you buy something, 4 of something, like you're at Costco or whatever. So it could be a good deal. Like 4 pizzas we bought. This was a good deal yesterday. One day we'll have an episode where the Argentine will show you how he doctors up a frozen pizza to make it total pizzeria. But this one, Newman's own pizza, it's normally like $6 or something for one frozen plain cheese pizza. If you buy 4 of them, like I did yesterday, they were only $3.99 each. But one on sale was $4.99. So then by the time you put your own tomatoes, your own garlic, extra cheese, goat cheese, blah, 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 it's really quite delicious. We eat this quite often late night snacking. So this whole meal, and you saw how big that pan was, could feed well over, you know, a family of 4. If they aren't like total pigs, like some other people around here. But let's take a look and see how our shepherd's pie is looking. Let me make some room and make sure everything else is off before we start burning stuff. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, ready, ready? Okay, where are my oven mitts? Whoa, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, first let me see if I can show it to you from the oven. But like I said, my camera work is not that swift. Look at that.